Good evening, guys. Alright, so pretty much after about 3.5 days of hard work, I give to you Toy Einstein. Yeah, okay, I know you're not waiting for this, but I just got this out of one of those Kinder eggs, and it's actually pretty cool. I mean, if you just press up on this guy, he gets E equals MC squared. I don't know how well you can see that, but I thought that was pretty cute. Anyway, alright, so here's what I have for you. Master Grade Gundam Epyon. This is phenomenal. I really enjoyed working on this guy. Everything, apart from the build, the kit, just the painting aspect of it, the color scheme, the details, all of it is a fantastic kit. It's actually, believe it or not, when I was going through it building this kit, I actually found it a little bit simple to do. It wasn't as involved or difficult to build, say for example like the Unicorn Gundam or Sinanju or any of those ones. It was pretty straightforward, nothing really too complex. But a fun build in the end, and especially how you put all the details together, like for example the legs and how they split up and everything. Very nice. My biggest problem with this were the decals. Now I know this might be something to do with the heat over here, or just something to do on the way shipping wise, but the decals that I got were very difficult to put on. I mean, I could say easily 4 or 5 hours I spent doing nothing but putting decals on. And you get the normal stickers, which are okay, and then you get the dry rub transfer decals, and those are the ones that took the longest time. You'd put it on the Gundam, on the piece of the kit, and you kept rubbing, and still parts of it weren't ideally stuck on there. So there are a couple of places where the decals went awry a little bit, but hard work pays off, and in the end, I think it looks really nice. Okay, so I have actually painted this guy, and I've changed the color scheme around a little bit. The actual kit colors were a very dark red. There were blue parts here, and the white and yellow. What I've basically done is I've given it a slightly darker appearance. So instead of the red, I've chosen a burgundy color. So it gives you a darker, it's more of a blood red, which I think fits in with the character better. Instead of all the dark blue pieces everywhere, I have gone in and made them black. And instead of yellow, I've got the golden. So, I personally thought that this gives a much better appearance than the blue. And I think it actually came up pretty nice. So here's basically what I used. So Ace Hardware, burgundy gloss. This is for all the the dark red armor parts. I have used Ace Premium, black flat. These are all for the black pieces. There's only hints of gold around here, like for example on the feet and on the claws on the hands and some pieces on the vents over here. For that I've used the metallic spray paint. Now I actually had another one which is Krylon metallic spray paint with golden color. This one, when I was using it, testing it out, I actually found that this one became a little too metallic, too shiny, and I didn't want that effect. I wanted to have something that's a little bit more dark, a little less shiny, and I thought this one worked perfectly well. And it fits in better with the whole color scheme of the Gundam as well. For the inner skeleton, I have gone with smoke gray, and this is a nice color, but I don't know if I want to use it for the inner skeletons. It works fine, especially when you offset the colors with the black and the burgundy, but it's a very hard color when you want to do the detailing. I mean, apart from black and maybe white in a couple of places, if you do anything with golden or silver or red, for the you could say for the detailing part of the inner skeleton itself, it just doesn't stand out that well. And for the gray pieces, as in the feet, the hands armor over here and the thigh armor, I have used pure gray. So all in all, not bad. The end effect I actually really like. I think it looks pretty good, and especially once you get all the decals on there and the stickers on there, gives a brilliant effect. And you got to do the panel lining on this guy. There are not that many panel lines, but in the end, once you do get everything lined up and detailed and everything, this guy looks really nice. Now one other thing also I've done is just change the colors around a little bit in a couple of places. To give you an example, on the feet here, I have made all the fins black, which were dark blue in the original kit. Now in the original kit they were red, along with the same as the over here, and I wanted to have a little bit of a standout on this. I just didn't want the whole thing to be red, so I made it out to be black. Even on the inside over here, the middle part above the claw itself, I've made black, just so that it stands out a little bit more. You do get quite a few accessories with this guy. So let's start off with these. These are the attachments for the stand. This is what you would use to, when this guy's in mobile armor mode, to attach it to a 1-to-100 base. And this is what we can use in conjunction with this, or as a robot itself when to attach it to the base. In terms of hands, this guy does not have the typical Master Grade hands. His hands do come off in the typical fashion like the Gundam Wing kits. These just peg off, and then you can just switch off the manipulators. I'm already using one closed fist as well as the open hand. And in addition to this, you also get one more half closed hand. This would be, for example, for the sword or the beam cannon. And you can see it's actually got a slit in the middle, so you can hold on to the weapon itself. You also get one completely closed hand. I've got the one in there for the left hand, so this is for the right hand. You get one more open hand for the other part, and one more open hand with the piece in there, so you can attach the weapons to it quite securely. As for weapons itself, you do get his sword, which is fantastic. I have colored this black, and I've given a little bit of a highlight in there with metallic green, so it just fits in better with the actual effect part. Otherwise it would just be black and green, and I wanted to have a little bit of difference in there. And you also get this piece, which is a connector piece. It's kind of like Shockwave from Transformers. Basically what happens is this thing can plug in on his side skirt, and once you plug it in, then the other part of this big long wire can go to the back of the sword, and it kind of just connects in. Maybe you could say it's a power source, or I actually haven't seen the anime yet, I know, don't kill me, but so that's how it connects in. Now this is actually an extra piece. The sword actually ends there. They give you this extra piece specifically so you can attach it to the wire which connects to the side skirt. Otherwise you can actually have him just like this with the sword, and it's perfectly fine. Now for the beam weapon itself, I was very happy how this turned out. The color scheme really does shout out very nicely, and when you put the decals on, it ends up looking very nice. Now these pieces over here, obviously, I'm going to call this the whip. Let's just go with that one. I don't know if you can see that too well. I was trying something different. What I did was I painted all of these parts red, the same as the kit itself first, and then I went over it with the black. So it doesn't come out that much on the camera, I don't think, but it's got a slightly reddish tinge to the black color, which actually looks really, really nice. I've gone in there where, Gundam marker, given it some metallic red paint for the eyes, but in the end this looks really nice. This can double up as a shield as well, and the cool thing about this is that these are 10 individual pieces with the dagger part at the end. And the way this works is that you can actually, at the moment I've got them tight, so if you do the shake test and they're all in place, you can actually pop them out slightly. Oops, too much. You can actually pop them out a little bit, each one of these joints, and this gun gives you some flexibility and degree in the movement, so you can really do a lot of poses, a lot of different ways to display this, and it just easily goes back in as well. Very nice. If I just take this out, you get this piece over here. Now this part attaches to the back of the hand, so if we just take that out, it very securely attaches over here. And then once it's in there, it's not moving anyway. And if you want, you can attach the whole whip part to it, and it looks really good. You can have it in all sorts of poses, or if you want, you can keep it like this as a shield. Now the other part is also when it's in mobile armor mode, you use both of these and it becomes the tail. That's where we're going to use this part, and I'll show you that later. The Gundam itself, very, very nice, very articulated. The wings themselves, if I can show it, the wings are on a joint over here, and these themselves are on a joint over here, so there's a good degree of movement. These vents as well, by the way, move. So we have the movement here, and we can even move it out this way. So there's a lot of different display possibilities with this. The wing itself, they've done it a little bit similar to the Perfect Grade Strike Freedom. So if you do pull it outwards, it does split up to give you a little bit more of an effect of a wing. So I thought that looked really nice. And if you close it back up again, just push it back in, it'll close up. There we go. And both the wings work in exactly the same way. You know, one thing I was worried when I was building this kit is that the backpack joins to the back of the Gundam through a very, very small peg. Let me see. Okay, it's in there securely. But this is one thing I was scared of, saying that, you know, this is a heavy wing parts here, and just attaching it by this little small peg to the back, I thought it was going to be popping off and just not looking good. But it's very secure. I'm very, very happy with it. The loosest parts on this whole Gundam for me are these pieces over here, the ones that attach to the ankle part, the ankle armor. In my opinion, ideally speaking, if you can glue them, go ahead and glue them, because these will pop out all the time.